Okay, we are super happy to be joined today by one half of the new breed, the team from the future, Sean Royal. Barry, how cool is that?
I'll tell you what, when I found out that we could get Sean Royal on our show, I jumped at the chance and I said, fuck yeah, as quickly as possible, because, Jeff, you and I living in the state of Florida, I was such a mark for this guy when he was coming out, because he was good right out of the gate. And then what they did with the whole new breed thing, and then he disappeared, and we didn't see him for years. So I was like, absolutely, we have to have Sean Royal with us. Sean Royal, welcome to Breaking Kayfabe with Bowdren and Barry.
Thank you guys very much. A 20-year hiatus, if you will. Don't quote me on that, but you know, it's like riding a bike with me. I don't have to think about things to say. I don't have to. It's not hard for me to worry about what I'm going to do. I just come from the heart, let it come out of me, and that's how it comes out.
Okay, well, all we'd like to do is just talk to you a little bit about your career today, if that's okie doke with you, and maybe throw a couple of questions at you. So first of all, tell us, Sean, when you were a young kid, Sean Royal as a kid, did you like wrestling? Who'd you like? Who was your favorite? That kind of stuff.
The first time I saw professional wrestling was 1976 when we moved from California, Los Angeles to Richmond, Virginia, and I saw Mid-South. And there was Rufus R. Freight Train Jones. There was Paul Jones and Mr. Wrestling. I don't know, Baron Von Raschke. The Baron was there. And I watched it, but I tell you the truth, guys, I wasn't apeshit over it until we moved to Florida in 1980, and I met David Tanaka, which is Duke Tanaka's son. Of course, you know Pat Tanaka. And the whole family was involved. And David, our second year of high school, David got us into the matches. And suddenly we were two high school boys getting our dicks sucked by rats. So I loved wrestling.
There you go.
A little side benefit there for knowing David. So,
and then, of course, I met Hiro. And I wrestled in high school, amateur wrestling, and played football. And ultimately I got a football scholarship to go to Tulane. And Duke, David's dad, he said, Sean, if football doesn't work out, come back and come see me. I think you've got a future in wrestling. So my second year of college, I got relieved by Mac Brown because I wasn't the kind of student athlete he was looking for. And the NCAA at that time had the right to do whatever the fuck they want. So I come back to Tampa and partied for a couple months and then got my shit together and went and met Hiro, and boy, oh boy.
You found out just what kind of shape you were really in, huh?
Well, the thing is, guys, on a from the heart emotional note here, it was a Mr. Miyagi story, you know, Karate Kid, but on steroids, because fucking Hiro didn't play. At 60-some years old, he would fucking put his little shoes on and his trunks, and he'd say, come on, kid, what's wrong? Can't keep up with old man? So the first day, I couldn't fucking walk and threw up and everything, but I came back. And then I came back, and before you know it, I was doing everything he asked me, and we started drinking Michelob Lights after we worked out. And, you know, on Hiro's deathbed, his wife told me, you know, Sean, out of all the guys Hiro trained, you were Hiro's boy. And it's good that we're not on film right now because I get kind of choked up about it. Because Hiro had a lot of plans for me. We were going to do stuff with the Ring Warrior and over in Europe and whatnot, and the investors backed the fuck out. But the whole experience with Hiro Matsuda was unfucking believable. I am a blessed individual.
Wow. So I want to circle back. So you mentioned about rats as a young guy. So in Florida was known for having attractive women and attractive rats in different cities. Which city had the best rats in the state of Florida?
Well, I dare say that there was the best because, you know, let's see, the middle part of the state had the farm animals. where foreplay was easy. All you had to do was go get your trunks on, find you what you're doing, go out there and say, you know. I mean, I fucked him at the Lakeland Civic Center. I fucked him in Fort Lauderdale. I would say maybe Jacksonville and Tallahassee up in the northern part of the state. Of course, you know, Tampa was hot, but back then the Green Iguana was there, and the Yucatan liquor stand. Good God, what a fucking pussy train! And of course, what was the bar? The Cowboy Bar, where Dusty and Magnum TA. Magnum was big when David and I were in high school at 83. Magnum was the shit, but he drove around in the 66 Corvette. He had bitches everywhere. And we were just, you know, oh, that's Tanaka's kid. Let him in. And so to answer your question, Tampa St. Pete, not the best. I'd say up in the Panhandle in Jacksonville, in my opinion.
Okay, the northern part of the state. All those conservative women giving away the pussy. That's nice. So
hey, they all look the same with their head in the corner and a handful of hair.
Now, Sean, I want you to feel like you can open up and talk to us, really.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so let me ask you a question that Barry and I, before we started recording, were wondering. You know, there's a famous incident in wrestling history in CWF that happened in Fort Lauderdale. You just spoke of Fort Lauderdale. The infamous Luger Bruiser Brody incident. Were you on that card?
Brother, man, let me tell you. Lex Luger broke in right before me, and Hiro told me he's the only one out of all the motherfuckers that come in there and tried. He did, on the first day, he did 500 fucking squats, 250 jump squats, 500 regular squats, 300 push-ups, and let Hiro beat the fuck out of him while he's doing leg raisers. He did it all. But Larry Fole, and, you know, I don't point to 3-point back, but call a spade a fucking spade. That fucking narcissistic, egotistical motherfucker was such a pompous ass, and he was a puss, Bo. And fucking Frank, which, you know, me and Frank weren't great friends, but I had a lot of respect for my, you know, my peers, and I guess with Matsuda in my reputation, that got me in with a lot with the old school guys. Me and Frank rolling joints in the back of the van, riding across the fucking state and having a good old time. And he fucking, you know how Bruiser was. He come out in the cage. He got in there and fuck the bell. He just come across and started soup boning Luger. And Luger fucking was like a fucking little kid that was just getting bullied or something on the playground. Total fucking, you know, fudge packer, man. Just a fish curled up. And all of a sudden he scaled the fucking cage and jumped down, held his arms out in bewilderment. And boy, all the boys, we were all up on the fucking curtain, both sides. And Luger just like, you know, he punked himself out bad. And Frank come back in there and he's like, I don't know what was wrong with him. I guess he didn't want to work, you know? It was hilarious, but that was a trip. I'm glad I was there for that.
Let me ask you a question, because I always heard a story about that night. Now I just want you to confirm or deny. I heard after that happened, that Hiro was back in the dressing room, and after Larry came in, got his stuff, and like left before Frank got in the dressing room. And when Frank walked in, Hiro Matsuda walked up to him in front of all the boys and said, "Now this is a real man. All you football players are nothing but pussies." Did that happen?
No, I can't acknowledge that because I don't remember that. I think I was out in the back with Steve Kern, and we were fucking in the van.
Okay, that's a good reason to miss the event.
That's a very good reason. Yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, I already wrestled, you know, and all I had to do, I was supposed to watch the rest of the matches. If you got caught, you know, being in the eye and taken away from the ring, you get your ass chewed out. But find a place and fucking watch the matches. But I mean, Hiro took me in the office and told me to fuck big, tall, skinny, fat, little, wide, short. He said all of them, and especially the ones with kids. It's your job, kid. You know, breed. So I did the best I could, you know.
Well, you were a new breed, you know.
Hey, that's it. And when fucking Crockett come down, when we got our break, and Crockett came down with Dusty and superstar, you know, little Bill Dundee, and who else he had? Colt fucking Severs or something, and Tijo Khan and all them, and they're gonna kill everybody off. Well, we went to Charlotte. We report April 1st, and all next thing you know, fucking Bill Dundee's coming in there, and then Batman, Tully Blanchard comes in. Hey, these fucking breeders, they're fucking all me girls. What the fuck are these guys doing? You gotta do something with these fucking kids, boss. Hey, we got told. We're supposed to be fucking them. That sells tickets.
Oh God. Okay, that's a great story. So let me talk to you about your team with your man Chris Champion. Who was it that originally put you guys together and came up with the whole concept of the new breed?
I want to say it was Mike Graham, because he was in the office. Duke Tanaka was in the office. Hiro, I think Gordon, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Gordon had a share in it. I don't know if Brian Blair had it or Kern, but Hiro was very, very fucking upset because Chris Champion, God rest his soul, the motherfucker, I want to kill that motherfucker. But Chris Champion came from what, you guys know, outlaw, backyard fucking outlaw wrestling. I mean, in the backyard with a fucking piece of damn rope around a fucking stick or whatever. Hiro was very, very pissed off about that. And although Champion had his repertoire, and his fucking big kick and all that bullshit, the motherfucker's shooting goddamn steroids up with bitch tits, and he was a welder by trade, which is here and there. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I did have a lot of fun with Chris. Okay. I mean, there's stuff that I could tell you because you guys said I could say anything. It's fucking unbelievable the shit we did on the road. But, the good Lord tells me don't hold grudges and forgive and forget. When I had my hand around his throat in Hartsville in the hospital when we got in that wreck, they couldn't hardly get my hand off of his neck. I was trying to kill him because we were late, but we weren't late. I mean, it was an outside show at Florence. It was thunder fucking storming and 5 inches of water on the road. And Bo, Arn Anderson just told me, hey, kid, you're going to get your fucking contract satisfied this month with the Great American Bashes. You lucky little fuckers. Because Dusty put us with the rock and roll. We'd already done some matches with him and tested the waters and whatnot. And, whoever worked with them guys was the luckiest fuckers alive because they so easy. Well, we were on our way right there. Okay, we signed, I think, $150,000 contract. And we were getting paid, but, I mean, Arn took me under his wing. Bobby took me under his wing. God, I love Bobby Eaton. And, Arn and me spent so much fucking time together. Good Lord, the story's there. But Chris, don't get me wrong, okay? I let it go. And I did talk to him before he died 2 years ago or a year ago, whatever. I did get to talk to him on the phone. And, who am I to judge? I mean, I'm a fucking low-down son of a bitch motherfucker too. But you guys understand where I'm going with this? That wreck impacted the new breed because when we came back, it just wasn't the same. I mean, I told Dusty, let's fucking shoot and hook and book me with Chris. I'm going to stretch that motherfucker all over this country. And you figure out the angle, Dusty. Dream something up. You the dream. And he said, now, Breeder, you can't do that, baby. We got the fucking like a monkey tour coming. I got to have you boys back together. Just do what I tell you. Yes, sir. What are you going to do?
That was a really good Dusty impression, by the way. And there's so many bad ones that are out there. That was really good, Sean. But so this is what I understand, though. So you guys had the accident. Now, you guys were hot. That's the one fucking thing that everybody will acknowledge. You guys were cool heels at a time when there weren't a lot of cool heels. And even though you were heels, people still loved you because you guys had something unique. You get in the car accident, and then things were never quite the same, and then you basically retired. You were gone. And it was like, wait a minute, okay. What happened?
Okay, this is what the fuck happened. I was sitting in the passenger seat. We're on Highway 141 in Hartsville. It's 5 lanes, 2 and 2 with a median. I wake up. I'm holding my little dugout, my one hitter, smoking some kind ass fucking pot, and Chris is driving, and he's a no driving motherfucker. He wasn't mechanical at all. Of course, you remember when we started this, I told you guys I took the lawnmower apart at 6. That's relative because I'm fucking mechanical. You know, I fucking drag race bikes, cars, trucks. And Chris, I woke up and I said, Chris, slow the fuck down. We were hydroplaning sideways. And he's like, we got to get there, brother. I said, it's a goddamn outside show at Florence in the fucking stadium. You know, fuck that, dude. Okay, the next time I woke up was 30 minutes later or whatever. And I was standing on the fucking porch of some guy's house. He had my ring jacket on me, my genuine, authentic, imitation, Naugahyde leather jacket with the rhinestone studs. But he had that on me, and I'm looking out in the road, and there's the car, the Dodge Diplomat we rented, and the trunk is in the fucking back seat. It was a 4-door, and the flames are coming out of it 6-8 feet, and there's another car behind it with the nose in the front window of it. And then I hear this fucking bitch moaning, and it's Chris. They had him in the house laying down with a sheet over him. He had shattered his arm, you know, in a bunch of places. Thus, he'd come back with that cast on. Me, I was burnt, charbroiled, fucking cock-sucking black. Number 2, second-degree burns, which, come to find out, they're the fucking worst because the nerve endings are open. So there's black. I'm looking at this guy going, what the fuck, man? Where am I? And about that time, the ambulance backs up, and they put me in there, take the jacket off, pour saline solution on me. You know what that is, right? Salt. Ah! I pass out. I wake up in the hospital 15 minutes later or whatever, and Chris is there beside me, and I got my fucking hand on his throat. And I told him, I'll fucking kill you, champion. Do you realize what in the fuck you just did? We're through. We're done, Bo. This is it. We're not going to fucking recover and come back and everything hunky-dory. Next year is the goddamn Great American Bashes. We're talking about now. We did one in Independence Arena in Charlotte, the first one, and we opened the fucking show. And David Allen Coe was there. I'll never forget it. He had the long blue jean duster with the rebel flag on it. And I walked up to him and said, hello, Mr. Coe. I'm Sean Royal. Just wanted to let you know I'm a big fan of yours. And stuck my hand out, and he looked at me and he said, get away from me, kid. You look like a freak. So I went and told Dusty. I said, boss, David Allen Coe just called me a freak. Well, Arn Anderson heard that, and from that point on, you a freak, ain't you, baby? Hey, freak. He just called me freak. Well, Chris didn't fucking realize, you know, Chris would sit in his apartment and smoke pot with his ugly ass fucking cunt for a wife and watch tapes of himself. Now, I understand watching tapes of yourself to critique yourself and be, beneficial in the future to watch what you're doing and learn from it. But he just watched fucking videos and videos and videos. And, you know, I told him, Bo, I'll choke your goddamn ass out in about 3 seconds. And you ain't fucking shit from Shinola, man. Get your fucking head right and get in this fucking game. We're going to make fucking millions. The motherfucker had bus, we get in a plane. You know, the new breed could go. The new breed could have been, who knows, coulda, woulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. All that good shit. Damn you, Tugget. You guys are getting me worked up.
Yeah, well, and the new breed should have been big too, and that's what I remember too, is that you guys were just starting that whole program with the Rock and Roll Express. But so even after the accident, when you guys came back and things were obviously different, and things had cooled down, you just kind of retired at that point, and you know, you were a solid worker, and you came out of that group in Florida. You had guys like Luger, you had yourself, you had Chris Champion, Ron Simmons was another guy that was right around that. Yeah,
Ed Gantler.
Yep, Dewey. Big Dewey.
Dewey Forte.
Big Dewey. Yeah.
Who's that?
Dewey Forte.
Yeah, Big Dewey. Yeah, Dewey was a good God. If you got in the ring with him, buddy, you better have your fucking Wheaties because he was clubbing. God, he fucking clubbed you. Simmons, too. Simmons, you know, I guess he learned later on, but I'll tell you guys what was funny was fucking Luger. Luger come up there. And he comes in with his papa's fucking ass. He got no respect for the champ. He wants more money than the goddamn champ. And Flair's fucking like, Jimmy, you better do something with this motherfucker, because who in the fuck does he think he is? You know? I mean, the champ, you know, talking about Rick, the Flair was, I mean, he's the bomb, dude. And, I love watching them matches. They put him in there. He'd lock up and fucking whop, chop. You know, when somebody's got heat, when they lock up and they go to chopping. Huh? Luger fucking couldn't take it, Bo. I don't give a fuck.
Who was it that came up with the idea for you guys to do the Beastie Boys song as the intro?
Me and Chris.
Yeah.
Back when the Christmas tournament, when we started the New Breed, and they told us, okay, you guys are going to be called the New Breed, and that's all we know right now. We're going to let you guys dress how you want, come up with your gimmicks. Just go home for the weekend. You're off and brainstorm. And I went home and damn, to be honest with you, I was just kind of blank, you know, because me as an individual, my true personality, like, it was not the New Breed. But when Chris called me and said, hey, my mom make all the tights, the Beastie Boys, and I listened to it and I liked it. Because, I mean, at that time, you got to fight for your right to party. And you know, we had an up-tempo. We had speed in the ring, not so bad that it was high spot, but we did a lot of tag, you know. We had a good rhythm. When we were on. And that shit's magic. When it's, you know, you guys have heard it talked about, and it's like anything. When it's right, it's right. You know what I mean?
Oh, you guys got huge pops when you came to the ring, when they started the music. There's no question about it, man. People loved you guys.
Man. Yeah, well, Chris said, you know, hey, let's do it. We're going to be from the year 2002, because he went home and the damn Back to the Future was on that weekend. So he was watching it, you know, and he was all into this fucking space-time continuum, the flux capacitor, and all that shit. I told him, I'm into the goddamn pussy and the money, Bo. That's what I'm here for. You know, I'm shooting fucking steroids and I do thousands of squats and push-ups. I don't need to go to the gym and look in the goddamn mirror. I will slap the fucking dog shit out of you. And fucking, I want my goddamn money, and I'm fucking that girl over there. And when she's done, she's gonna come fucking ask you how my dick tastes. So how's that? That shit went on a lot.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do, Sean. I had posted on our Facebook group some questions for the guys to ask you. So I'm going to just throw a couple questions from our group towards you, okay?
Come at me.
Okay, Matt Mann wants to know, who was the favorite jobber on TBS that you and Chris killed? Who'd you guys like working with?
The favorite jobber? Rusty Riddle. Funny that he should be one of them. Rusty Riddle. And then, what the fuck was his name? You know, they all come from Mike. Mike Jackson. Jones. What? Mike Jackson.
Mike Jackson.
They come from Mike Jackson from Alabama. And there was a guy, I think his name was Daryl, or he was goofy, man. But Rusty Riddle, we used to beat his fucking ass. And, you know, in the come 2000 and change there, I went to NCW up there in Cornelia, Georgia, and met up with him. And of course, he was huge then. He done roided out and grew. And they ended up putting us together, and we became Total Destruction. And I wish that would have fucking went, you know. But to answer your question, Rusty Riddle, in my opinion, and I can't remember the other guy's name. He was goofy, though. He wore a full singlet, and he was just real loose and sloppy, but he'd take a fucking beating, Bo.
All right, next question comes from John Paul Manganelli. Why did you leave Crockett, and when and why did you decide to retire?
Well, I left Jim Crockett because Chris and I, of course, had split our ways, and Dusty refused to let me stretch him on TV, in real life, in an angle, and work it, and let me get my frustrations out on him. And you know, who knows? I mean, I might have brought him around, and he fucking got his mind right, and I forgive him, and we could have went back to work. But you know, when somebody fucks up, and I have like zero tolerance for fucking stupidity. And that damn driving like that and ultimately, ending our fucking career when we were like the donkey in fucking New Orleans with the carrot in front of him. They're dangling it as he's walking, pulling the cart. They're just dangling it right there in front of us. We were right there.
I'm sorry, Sean. I got one for you too. So a guy that you were aligned with, and this I'm going back to Florida too, because that's where I first saw you. But Sir Oliver Humperdinck, and you were actually aligned with Sir Oliver Humperdinck before you left the state. Hump was a friend of mine, and he was one of those guys that just everybody seems to have a good word for. What are your memories of Hump and the time that you spent with him?
The Rooster and I were. We had a very, very good, solid, fucking had a blast relationship. Dink Daddy, the Rooster, Sir Oliver, I rarely called him that. I just called him, Dink Daddy or Rooster.
Sure.
We had a ball, and I'm blessed and highly favored for the old timers, the old schoolers that I got to ride in the van with. When the new breed got the belts at the Christmas tournament and we were booked 7 days a week, we got to go. We rented a Dodge Caravan, and Bad News Allen and Kareem Mohammed, Big Ray Candy, went in with us. So it was 4 of us. And then we would carry, like Dink would ride with us sometimes. Fonzie would ride with us. If News and Ray weren't working, the sheep herders, when they hooked me with them, they would ride with us. And when you ride down the road and these guys talk psychology to you in an illogical business, it's fucking cartoons, But the talks that they gave me, and I was smart enough at a young age to learn that God gave us 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth, so you can look and listen twice as much as you fucking talk. Well, I shut up and listen when they talk, And, it helped me tremendously because unbeknownst to you guys, right when I got switched to a heel, when I fucked Barry Windham, that little angle they did on TV one day, I was about to get fired. Hiro took me in the office and told me, if you can't work, kid, learn, you're no good to me. No hard feelings. It's just business. So I give you one more chance. We're going to switch you in heel, and you don't work, I got to let you go. And apparently I had heat with all the boys because they were all carrying me, and I wasn't learning a fucking thing. But I went to Tanaka and talked with him, and we did that angle on Wednesday, and then Sunday night, every Sunday night, Eddie Graham Sports Complex, Orlando. Well, when I fucking come out of that damn dressing room, I don't know, guys. It was meant, it was the good Lord sending me on my journey because I just reacted to the people. And from then on, I had to have my shades and my vest, and I was healing. And I got all the how you say, I got acknowledgement when I came back in. Everybody in the dressing room, all the heels, would shake my hand. Unfucking believable, kid. Welcome. Congratulations. Glad to have you here. You fucking shocked us. We all were watching. Said, this kid, how the fuck he gonna be a heel? And lead matches when he can't even he can't do shit as a baby face. So that just came natural to me,
So one of the other questions that we have that let's see who asked this question. David Jordan, did you guys prefer wrestling as baby faces or heels?
I preferred heels always.
Yeah.
Simply for the simple fact that if it was anybody less than the champ or the Horseman, the Warriors, God, I love Mike Hagstrand and me. We had a really, really good relationship. I fucking loved Hawk, man. And I got to see him for a month in Japan when I went in 92, 93. I went to Japan for a month.
And you teamed with Brad Armstrong, right?
Brad Armstrong, yeah. Brad had a seizure or something when we first got off the plane, and they sent him back home. but I was supposed to be tagging with Brad the whole month. But I ended up with my big brother, the barbarian. I put one foot on the wall and play with the ball. Brother, you stay with me. I take you to a little corner and show you how save money in Japan. No fuck up, because you get in trouble, then you in big trouble. Mr. Hiro, beat your ass.
Did you like working in Japan?
It was, I didn't get over there, but I mean, I wish I would have fucking got over. They didn't ask me back, you know. I had some good matches. I had a couple of hell matches with Muda. I was using Fujiwara. Hiro taught me Fujiwara's fucking armbar, and I was doing Hase's Northern Light. Wow. And he didn't like that. He didn't like that too much, but you know, it is what it is. And from what I gather, what I was told, and what Hiro told me, I hated disappointing him because I knew I was disappointing him, but I said I wasn't mean enough. I should have just went there fucking blistering and beating the fuck out of them jabs.
That's what I've always heard, is that when you go over there, the quickest way to get over is to just beat the shit out of those guys. And that's one of the reasons why, like somebody like we've talked about on the show before, like Ricky Steamboat was never really that well received. And it's because the best thing he does is to sell for his opponents, you know, whereas guys like Brody and Hansen kicked everyone's ass, and that's why they got over so good.
Yeah, and you know, Benoit was on that trip, and he was eating those goddamn halcyons and placidils and he dropped his face in the fucking plate at Ribera. And I wrestled tag with him a little bit. And he said, brother, just fucking go stupid on him, you know? And guys, I don't know, for whatever reason, you know, I guess it wasn't meant to be. And motherfucker, it should have been, because I went, Hiro got me, $10 grand, $2,500 a week, which is unheard of for your first trip. And Hawk told me that they've cut a deal for like 200 grand, 10 weeks a fucking year, and they split them up. Yeah. So they'd come a couple weeks and then go, and then come back a couple weeks, whatever. And Hiro told me, hey kid, you get over Japan, them fucking like you. All you do, go back and forth. That's it. Only work a little bit. Rest time, stay home, fuck girls, lay in sun. You keep in shape. Yes, sir, Hiro.
Yeah, a guy you just mentioned that we haven't even brought up when you were talking about when you were first breaking in is Muda, and you had a chance when Muda was in Florida wrestling as the White Ninja. I remember him. Did you work with him in Florida?
Yes, Muda came, and Muda he helped me like fine tune and put the icing on the cake, because I come in one day to Hiro's little sweatshop where we worked out at on Hines Boulevard or Hines Avenue, there in by the Tampa Stadium, and there was Muda, and he was fucking in shape. His legs were fucking huge like all them Japs, and Hiro didn't work out that day. He just cut them damn singlets with his glasses on his nose and his tape around his neck, and he said, okay, Sean, you keep up with Muda today, and you'll see how many squat you can do. Just stretch good, and then start doing squat. And I did like 20, almost did 3,000. I did 2,800 something maybe. Muda did like 3,500 or something, But them boys, they do 5,000 squats, once a month or something like that, or for punishment. Well, Muda and I became friends. We talking, we drank beers, we wrestled together. We wrestled, you guys know, you were there in Florida. We had some matches together, and when I went to Japan, Muda and I had a couple matches, and he put me over big time. And I thought that was gonna seal the deal, But let me tell you, the best thing, the funniest thing, the most memorable thing about Muda is Barry Windham, myself, Muda, I think the sheepherders were with us. We had two vans. We pulled over on Alligator Alley. We wrestled in Miami. We pulled over on Alligator Alley. On the way home, Muda had never shot a gun. Well, we got out this fucking 45, 1911, and we're going to shoot it at a sign. And I wish you could see, my expression, but Muda's got two hands. He's never shot a gun before. He pulled the trigger, and brother, the look on his face just, oh, and his eyes, big as fucking golf balls. It was priceless. It was fucking priceless.
Well, I definitely want to give a plug too, and I think anybody that's listening to this that has never met Sean Royal, they actually have the opportunity, Sean, next month. I should say we're almost in July. When this episode airs, it will be in July. We're very excited that you are going to be at the gathering, which is going to be August the 15th through August the 18th, taking place at the Hilton University in Charlotte. You are going to be there. I think there's something like 70 wrestlers, 70 of the boys are actually going to be there. But quite frankly, I don't think anybody else is going to give a shit about meeting anybody else but you at this point, because this has been, as you told me it would be, Sean, this has been an interview and an appearance for the ages. So you can meet Sean. He is going to be there as part of Captain's Corner with my good friend Nick Massey, a good friend of Breaking Kayfabe with Bowdren and Barry. And, Sean, you're going to be taking photos, signing autographs, and pretty much having a good old time, if I'm correct.
That is absolutely correct, because I don't go anywhere and not have fun. Life's too short. There's no such thing as hell. We're living in it right fucking here on earth. I believe there's a God, and I believe in heaven, but this is hell. So I'm living large. I mean, we're not promised tomorrow. Well, we're not promised we might hang up and kaput, so do unto others as you would do. Get all you can. It's healthy for you.
Yeah, definitely doing. And Sean, so I want to give one more plug. That is the gathering. It's coming up August the 15th through the 18th. It's 3 days. I think it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It might be one of the largest professional wrestling conventions ever to take place. Legitimately is something like 70 wrestlers there. I don't have any fucking idea who else is there except for you at the moment, Sean. And quite frankly, if I was going to the gathering, you're the guy that I want to meet, because you are the fucking man. That was super interesting. Jeff, can we get Sean Royal to come back with us again?
I certainly hope so. I'm going to leave with one final question, Sean, and I have a feeling you're willing to answer this.
Yes,
you're going out, you're looking for pussy. You got a better chance of getting it I shouldn't say that. You're going to get it either way, but did you get better pussy as a baby face or as a heel? Better quality pussy, let's put it that way.
Well, I tell you guys, I'm a quick learner, and baby faces, when you're a mark and you think you're fucking somebody, you're getting pussy, but you're getting pussied, when you're a heel and you got your head about you, your wits about you, and, say I don't have no pickup lines and all that shit, but I mean, it ain't nothing to me to look at a girl. She looks at me and I'll go straight to her and tell her, now, I got to ask you a question. Obviously you're attracted to me. I'm attracted to you. Time is a precious thing and it hates to be wasted. I will gladly buy you a drink, but first, I suggest let's walk outside and rub one out and see if the magic's there. If it is, we got something to work on. If not, no hard feelings. I'll buy you a drink and see you later. I've been slapped. I've been fucking kicked. I've been grabbed by the arm and took to the parking lot, sucked and fucked, and round the world. All that, I say heel. Better pussy as a heel.
Okay, and finally, Neely Shockett wanted me to ask you, what is your favorite sexual position?
Oh, you didn't hear me before?
Well, no, he didn't think I was going to ask this. You said pretty much everything, but was there anything in particular you liked?
Well, in particular, it's like I love teabagging the bitches. So, on your knees, assume the position, and then head in the corner and a handful of hair. And I guess my favorite would be, okay, baby doll, them ankles fit behind those ears. Let's get them back there.
Which, yeah, absolutely too.
Absolutely.
So Jeff, I don't know about you, but do you think we should because quite frankly, I feel like we should go to Charlotte and we should go out with Sean Royal for a night. Because I got a feeling that would make our lives, Jeff, if we hang out with Sean Royal.
I have a feeling it wouldn't. I believe that's the first time the word teabagging has ever been used.
That's the first use of teabagging. Yes.
So thank you for breaking it down.
Teabags.
Oh yeah. I'm very familiar with teabagging.
Well, hey,
yep.
I got one for you before we leave. And hey, the gathering, I'm totally fucking excited. I don't know how many years it's been. Like I said, 10, 20 of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. But the gathering in Charlotte, I believe I'm going to be there the 17th. Nick's got me booked for. And I'm so excited. If fucking Cornette's there, Corny and fucking Bobby and Stan, I'm going to be fucking in hog heaven. But let me ask you guys, you watch the weather, everybody does, right? Does anybody know what the definition of relative humidity is?
No.
Okay, it's the sweat off your balls while you're fucking your sister. Relative humidity. And South Carolina has got the fucking humidity. You know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. South Carolina. Is that where you are right now? Are you in South Carolina?
Yeah, I'm in Swansea. South Carolina.
Wow.
Yep,
I'm driving through
Columbia.
I'm driving through South Carolina. I'm right outside of Philadelphia, and I'm headed down to Tampa, and I'm making the drive. So if you're off of 95, then I know where you are.
I'm off 20. I'm off 26. If you get to Charlotte, if you ain't scared, you get to Charlotte. You cut 85 off of 95 in Greensboro. You come down and hit 77. Come straight to the end of 77 and call me. When you get to about exit 5 Bluff Road, you call me. And I'll come meet your ass at the end of 77, and we go to this little club around the corner, have a cocktail, shoot a game of pool, you know.
I'm sure Mrs. Rose and the kids would love that side trip.
Well, I'm going to leave them at home. Yeah, I'm leaving them at home. If I could hang out with Sean Royal, Jeff, Mrs. Rose and the kids and the dog, they can all stay at home because this is, this is something I want to do.
So, all right. Well, listen, hey, Sean, we want to tell you again how much we appreciate you coming on the show with us. It's been an absolute blast, and holy shit, this one, I can't wait for people to hear, Sean.
Oh, yeah. You're the fucking man, Sean Royal. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Okay,
awesome,
brother.
Brother. Thank you.
You have a good one.
Yep.